Solomon Drayson didn't expect anyone to recognize him as he pulled into the parking lot of Elmridge High. The building looked like any other small-town Texas school. Weathered red brick, flags fluttering lazily over the entrance, and kids lingering near the gym doors. Parents in dress shirts, siblings holding signs, and a grandmother leaning on a walker dotted the crowded lot. He parked his Dodge Charger near the chain-link fence and stepped out, adjusting the lines of his deep blue Marine uniform. His boots gleamed, polished to a mirror shine. Not for show, but because there were things in life he still needed to do right. Halfway to the entrance, he paused, chest rising and falling with quiet purpose. His face was calm, carrying the stillness of someone who had seen life from every angle imaginable. 8 hours of driving from Temple hadn't been a burden. Flying would have been faster, but the Charger had been his wife's favorite, and on the road, he still felt closer to her, even 2 years after her passing. From the glove compartment, he retrieved a small, worn photograph, his wife holding Tyron as a baby, and slipped it into his jacket pocket. "I promised you," he murmured softly, "I wouldn't miss it." Inside the gym, metal chairs filled the floor while bleachers overflowed with eager families. The air smelled faintly of popcorn and floor wax. Solomon showed his ticket to a volunteer and was directed to the third row on the left. Families glanced at him. A few did a double take of the uniform but quickly looked away. He took his seat, adjusting the slightly wobbly plastic chair, and focused solely on the stage. Banners declared Class of 2024 in big silver letters. Students lined up at the far end. Tyron, tall and lanky, with his mother's eyes, was somewhere in the middle. Solomon remembered holding the night he was born, still in uniform with dirt under his fingernails, having flown in from Okinawa with only 4 days leave. Now he watched his son grow into a young man, feeling something he couldn't name, but lived somewhere between pride and ache. The ceremony began. Pomp and circumstance filled the gym, and the crowd stood. Some students looked nervous, others beamed. Solomon remained seated. The national anthem played. Hands went to hearts, but his posture alone carried the salute. Thoughts of his wife flickered through his mind. How she would have cried through every note. How she would have fixed Tyron's tie 3 times before letting him leave. As the anthem ended, 2 uniformed men approached from the side aisle. Security, not police, their badges reading Harlan Security Services. One was short, wide-shouldered, shaved head, the other taller, lanky, chewing gum. They stopped beside him. "Excuse me, sir," the short one said. "We're gonna need you to come with us." Solomon's eyes remained forward. "Is there a problem?" "This section's for families of graduating seniors," the taller one said. Solomon reached into his pocket and produced the printed ticket. "This is my seat. 3rd row, left side. Family seating confirmed." The guards ignored it. "It's full," one said. "We got orders." Solomon's voice remained calm, steady, yet sharp. "It was full when I sat down." "Who gave that order?" Nearby, people began noticing. A woman nudged her husband. Phones tilted as cameras recorded. Solomon didn't flinch. He had long known the meaning of some looks and the irrelevance of others. "You want to tell me who gave that order?" he asked quietly. Garvin, the shorter guard, adjusted his radio, visibly annoyed. "Sir, I'm asking one more time." Solomon's voice deepened, firmer now. "You can ask all day. I'm not moving." The taller guard, Mally, tried a gentler approach. "You'd be more comfortable in the back." That phrase hung in the air, not about logistics or policy, but something older, quieter, a weight Solomon had carried all his life. Behind him, a woman whispered, "Don't let them move you." He nodded once, acknowledging her without breaking composure. The two guards hovered, unaware that Solomon had survived places where power meant life or death, not gym chairs and folding tables. He didn't react further, but the tension began to shift, subtle, like the calm before a storm. Then the gym door clicked open and 6 men entered. No uniforms, no badges, just presence. They moved individually, finding positions throughout the gym, each motion deliberate, each stance unwavering. Anyone watching closely could feel the change. The room's energy shifted. Creed Marston stepped into the center aisle, tall, salt and pepper beard, fitted black coat over a gray shirt. He was one of 6 men Solomon had bled with in Afghanistan, men who knew loyalty beyond words. "Is there a reason this man's being bothered?" Creed asked, calm and controlled. Garvin faltered. "Who are you?" "The man telling you this ends right now," Creed replied, unyielding. Another SEAL stood, then another, until all 6 were positioned, silent, alert, confident. The gym's attention shifted. Everyone understood, even the students. Power was present without a single raised voice. Solomon remained seated, eyes fixed forward. Creed softened his stance slightly, but his message was clear. Any further harassment would have consequences. The guards hesitated, suddenly aware they weren't dealing with a routine situation. Mally's voice finally cracked. "Let's just back off." Garvin, pride still flaring, took a step back. Creed's gaze never left him. Silence had become the authority. The principal whispered to the guards, guiding them toward the back exit. They didn't look back. Solomon exhaled, steady, unshaken. Tyron, watching from a stage lineup, had witnessed every moment. Pride and all welled up inside him. He recognized the discipline, the loyalty, the silent strength that ran in his father's veins. The ceremony continued, but the rhythm of applause, the names called, no longer held the same weight. Tyron approached the stage, focused solely on the moment with his father. Solomon remained seated, calm, observing. When Tyron's name was called, the gym erupted in coordinated cheers, led subtly by the 6 SEALs' hands, clapping in perfect unison, a silent salute to both father and son. Tyron walked across the stage, chin high, stepped steady. He took his diploma, shook the principal's hand, and turned toward his father. Their eyes met. No words were exchanged, only the smallest, most meaningful smile. Outside, the sun scorched the concrete, casting long shadows from the bleachers. Students scattered, posing for photos, throwing caps, calling out to relatives. Solomon and Tyron met halfway. "You okay?" Tyron asked. "I've been through worse," Solomon replied. "You handled it," Tyron said softly. "I almost said something." "You didn't because you could handle it," Solomon replied. "And you did. You didn't let anyone take your moment." Tyron glanced back at the 6 SEALs, who now stood near the exits. Who were those guys? Men I bled with, Solomon said. Men who never forget. They climbed into the Charger. The car, warmed by the sun, felt like a cocoon. Tyron ran his fingers over a scratch on the handle. She would have loved this, he murmured. She would have, Solomon said, smiling gently. You gonna tell me the war stories now? Tyron asked. Some of them. You're old enough for the real parts, Solomon replied. Shoulder to shoulder, they sat, father and son, bound by experience, honor, and love. Why didn't you say anything to those guards? Tyron asked. I didn't have to, Solomon said, turning the key in the ignition. Standing up isn't always shouting. Sometimes silence speaks louder. Tyron absorbed the lesson, watching his father drive with quiet dignity. I want to be like that, he said. You already are, Solomon replied. You walk that stage. You stay grounded no matter what. The Charger rumbled to life, and they pulled away from the school. The memory of the gym, the tension, the silent warriors, and the respect earned would never fade. For Tyron, for Solomon, for anyone who witnessed it. That day, Tyron realized manhood wasn't about noise. It was about presence, loyalty, and the strength to sit quietly while the world watched. Sometimes the loudest voices aren't heard. The strongest moments aren't announced. And the men who stand without saying a word are the ones never forgotten.